All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Reformed Dissenters podcast and show, the show where Reformed Christians dissent against popular ideas of culture by asserting a biblical worldview. My name is Bruce Johnson. I'm here as always with my brother Jacob Johnson.
Hello.
We're also joined by special guest Gabe Rench.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. The Knoxville, Tennessee 2022 conference.
Hopefully at some point we'll be able to get the trifecta on here.
Yeah,
We've
all
had
all
Toby.
at once. That's tough. That's tough.
What I'm talking to, like, one at a time. We've had Toby on. We're hoping to have Knox on at some
good.
point.
It's been great. We got all the Cross Politic crew. If you
you.
guys haven't seen Cross Politic yet, definitely check them out. Great show. I think I catch like almost every single one of them. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So it's the end of the day.
Yes.
How do you think
Friday.
it's been going?
It's the end of Friday.
Yeah.
So, whenever you plan a conference, you work about 6 months to birth the baby.
Yeah.
And then the last week before the baby's born is really intense because all the logistics, all the birthing pains that go up to it.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got on the plane on Monday, well, it's like you kind of done what you could do.
Yeah,
and
see
then
how it pans out.
Whatever you get on Thursday is what you get.
Yep.
So Monday was nice. And then you get here Thursday, and you got just all these logistics that need to come finally come into play. And it's been Thursday was pretty intense. Today's been great because you're just kind of part of what's set in motion, and it's just more
going
about
through the motions. At
hosting
that point.
everybody and making sure everything's running smoothly.
Well, that's great.
So before we move on and actually, go into questions, Bruce always likes to start out with questions.
The gun. That's what I do.
Okay.
I want to start out by explain to our audience who you are, if they don't know who you are, what you do, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm Gabriel the Water Boy. Woo! I host Cross Politic, which is a TV show and podcast on Jesus is Lord over politics. I also serve as a deacon at my church. And then I coach girls basketball, high school varsity, junior high.
Nice.
Wow.
Junior high, I'm in charge of our basketball program at the girls basketball program at Logos because my daughters are in it. So
how many daughters do you have?
I got 2 daughters.
Wow.
One's in junior high, so I'm getting the program ready for her, hopefully, if she's good enough to go in a varsity program.
Yeah.
And so I actually just took on that responsibility this last year and everything.
Wow.
So, but I've been coaching for my daughter for a long time,
Okay.
and now I just kind of stepped into the
basketball is your sport. That's
that's my family sport.
That's cool. Did you play it through college and stuff?
I did. I played a couple years in college down in California, and it was a wonderful experience.
That's pretty cool.
So I bet your audience and our audience is dying to know: are you a cat or dog person?
A cat or dog? Oh man, I'm 100% a dog person. We do have cats. But they stay outside even if it's 0 degrees.
Oh wow!
Goodness. Cats are pretty hardy. Cats are pretty hardy. But we have a barn and we have I got 10 acres, so we got.
Is it because you don't let them inside?
Allergic to cats.
Oh,
and so
okay.
I will not let them.
So you're a cat person, but you're allergic.
I'm not even really a cat person.
You're
But
a
I'm
dog
definitely.
person. Sorry, that's what.
And my dog is short-haired, so I don't even want to do long-haired dogs.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So,
Okay.
I prefer dogs way over cats.
Right. That personally for me too. I love dogs. I like. No cats. No thanks. I don't even want to have a cat. But dogs all the way.
So, I hear. So you came up with the title for a lot of the presentations. A couple of the titles.
I work with the Knox and Toby. Together. It's not. It's not. Oftentimes, it's actually a combination of us working together. Sometimes it's just Toby. Sometimes it's just Knox. But we all kind of work together.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys come up with the theme for this year?
Yeah. Well, the theme, I think, was the easiest part about the conference. Lies, propaganda, storytelling, and serrated edge. And the last 2 years, we've been lied about significantly. The government's lied to us.
Yep.
The medical industrial complex has lied to us.
Yeah.
Our big education has lied to us.
Yep.
I've been in a lot of battles just on the silly masking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Before COVID hit,
I
got arrested. I got arrested for fighting things. But before
singing
COVID,
psalms.
Yep, that's right. There was 20 years of scientific literature saying masking for the general public didn't work. 20 years. I mean, you can go read through it all.
Yeah.
And so, but the medical industrial complex, which is what runs our medical world,
protocols,
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They lied to us. They, they felt the pressure and the fear of the governmental and cultural pressure to give into kind of the COVID narrative.
Yeah.
And it was a lie. And so we've been lied to for the last 2 years, and the church was ill prepared to be able to handle those lies. A lot of the churches buckled and gave into those lies.
Jellyfish.
That's right. And we gave into those lies, and we believed the propaganda. So lies, propaganda, and we believed the propaganda. And one of the reasons why we believed the propaganda is because we believed their story, their narrative of what was working, and we didn't have a counter story, a counter narrative.
Yes.
And then lastly, serrated edge is a tool that God has given us in His Word, and the serrated edge is basically, using the sharp edges of the Bible to fight sin and culture. That's basically the serrated edge. And you see examples
the Bible
in Scripture.
has sharp edges?
It does. It's as sharp as a two-edged sword, right? And so Paul, trashed the Jews who were apostatizing. Jesus trashed the Pharisees. Called them basically sons of Satan, vipers, broods of vipers, right? Sons of Satan.
Whitewashed tombs.
And whitewashed tombs, all that stuff. And so we're called to imitate Christ. Paul says imitate Christ. We need to learn how to use biblical language and employ it in such a way where you're fighting culture.
Yes.
We're called to love our neighbor, but we're called to, we're also called to take up arms and fight.
Right. Wise as serpents, gentle as doves.
That's right. And so that's lies, propaganda, storytelling, and serrated edge, and why we name it.
I love Doug Wilson's point in his book, The Serrated Edge. How he brings up a lot of the argument against this whole idea of using the sharper edges of the Bible to cut at some of the weird ideology of people, and so a lot of the big argument against it is like, well, no, Jesus told us to love, or that Jesus
just be squishy.
Jesus knew how to use it, and the apostles knew how to use it, but we don't know how to use it. And I love what Doug Wilson brings up is that, well, then we don't know how to use Christ like love. Christ knew how to use love. We don't know how to use love, so should we not do it at all?
And we've given away the definition to the world on what love is. We've given the definition of the world away to what Jesus' king is, and we've given the definition of the world to the world on what it means to speak biblically.
Yes. Amen. Yeah. Well, Gabe, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, short, but you're busy. You're the coordinator sort of guy. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hope to have you on again.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Reformed Dissenters, the show where Reformed Christians dissent against popular ideas of culture by asserting a biblical worldview. My name is Bruce Johnson. Of course, I'm joined by my brother, Jacob Johnson.
Hello.
And we have a special guest here today.
Special?
Very special guest.
Wow, I feel special.
Well, good. All right.
All right.
So it's working. All right. And so this is Greg
Moore.
Greg Moore.
Yeah, Dead Man Walking Podcast.
Greg Moore special. Great. So the Dead Man Walking Podcast.
Yeah.
So you're here at the Knoxville, Tennessee FLF Beast Conference.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Here's John Brandian. Look at that.
There you go. Hey, Johnny! Don't knock over our cameras.
Yeah, right.
How dare you, sir?
Oh, man. We're in the middle of recording,
Awesome,
but we'll
for
definitely
sure.
have to...
Oh, this is all part of it. We love it.
It's all part of the show.
Yeah.
It's more important.
It's more important.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
He's just a stand-up comic, listeners. We don't need to listen to him, okay?
all right.
Thinks he's all important. His art form is becoming beloved in the community. Get out of here. It's all about him.
Awesome. Yeah.
Go have low self-esteem somewhere else, sir.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Sure.
Sounds great. Awesome.
That's why we love live podcasting,
I know.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people walking up to you, talking to you, but John's a good guy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're a Dead Man Walking Podcast.
Yes.
First of all, how did you come up with that name?
I absolutely love Ephesians 1. I love the
Okay.
juxtaposition of you were dead in your trespasses, dead in your sins. There was nothing you could do about it. And then 3 verses later, you've been lifted up into high kingly priestly
Sounds
places.
like you're Arminian.
Yes, I did it all. I lifted myself up out of the pit that, as we know, a dead person can revive themselves.
Exactly.
No, but I just love that because we are, unless we have been regenerated by Christ, we are all dead men walking. And I just really love that idea of I was a dead man walking literally my teens and into my early 20s, essentially putting things into my body, drugs and all these things, and didn't even care if I lived or not, honestly. When I look back on it, I go, who cares if I die, right? And the Lord graciously saved me, removed everything out of my life that needed to be removed, graciously saved me. And that kind of reflects a little bit of the personal testimony, but also who doesn't love Ephesians 1 and 2?
Amen.
I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love the one song that we sing here, the one psalm, the dead is alive and the lost is found.
Come on.
That's the best. That's the best part.
Absolutely. Yeah, I tear up when I hear that. You know what I mean? Because I know what the Lord's done for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're a Christian Worldviews podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're very similar along sort
I
of.
thought you guys were Muslims. I'm out of here.
It's in the wrong crowd. So, what do you usually talk about? So
the tagline is talking about theology, culture, and politics with a biblical and reformed worldview. It's a mouthful, but essentially, I'm an elected official back where I'm at. I love to.
What position is that?
So just a county commissioner over county stuff. So politics always comes into it. Sometimes we'll have a congressman on or someone from like Steve Deese from Blaze TV to comment on it, or I say, it is Deese. It's not Deese. I called him Steve Deese on the show, and after about 5 times, he goes, "It is Deese." I said, "Okay, you will not be back on the podcast. I can tell, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize." So we talk about those things, but always from a biblical and reformed worldview. Kind of what you guys are doing a little bit, and I love the name, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, the Reformed Dissenters. It's just a cool name. You got these cool stickers here too.
Oh,
your listeners. You got a website?
We do. Yeah.
What is it?
TRDshow.net.
So TRDshow.net. You guys got to go check these out and make sure you grab one because they're about the coolest stickers at the show.
They can get it for free by joining our referral program.
There you go. You heard it.
Merch. There you go.
Free merch. Yeah. So that's what we talk about. I bring much smarter people than me on every single week. I ask them questions. I learn, and then it's kind of selfish actually. It really is. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I gotta go record tonight with Gary DeMar. He's gonna teach me eschatology personally.
Nice.
So it's a little selfish, but it's fun. It's a good show.
Yeah. So, could I have you scooch just a smidge that way? Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, that's really cool. That sounds great. So, what are some of the top? Yeah. So you had Gary DeMar on. We've had Dace,
we've had a range. We have guys like James White and Doug Wilson on, of course, and Jeff Durbin and Luke Pearson and all those. Wow. And then I've had Dr. Michael Brown came on and talked about the LGBTQ stuff. Okay. And it was funny because I had a little pushback from some of my Reform brothers, like, hey, what's going on? He's a little bit out there in the charismatic world, but he had something very important and biblical to say about woke culture and LGBTQ stuff, so we definitely wanted to have him on. And then we even had within the Reform circle, like Dr. Sam Storms came on the first time, and we were talking about millennialism. And then the second time he came on, and we kind of gave him pushback about him defending Bill Johnson at Bethel and some of the Bethel worship music. And it got a little tense, and we posted it, and there was a little bit of a viral moment there. We were very respectful, but essentially saying guys like Bill Johnson are, they're not prophets. He's not a theologian, so we misunderstood what he's saying when he said God was just fully man and not deity. And I go, well, that's a pretty harsh statement to say, and then say the pastor isn't a theologian. So there was some of those moments too, to where, you're listening to someone, but you can give a little pushback or give a little counter question. And so a whole range of people. We had comics on and entrepreneurial people on. Okay. Rod Martin was a good one. He was one of the first guys to invest in PayPal.
Oh, wow.
He's been on. So all across the board, but we try to keep it interesting.
Yeah,
right.
I love it.
So how long have you guys been going?
First episode was beginning of April, middle of April, 2020.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a COVID podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got shut down. I was called non-essential as a real estate broker in the state of Michigan, and I said, okay, we're going to start the podcast. We're going to go from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a county commissioner, you're a podcaster, and you're a real estate broker.
Yes.
Wow.
We stay busy.
It's a life.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yeah.
And I love to eat. I mean, if you're watching video right now, Daddy loves his donuts and steaks. You know what I'm saying? So you got to work, man.
I love it.
You're the type of person that keeps my business flowing.
Yeah.
I'm a chef. I'm trying to be.
Oh, we're going to become best friends.
Oh, yeah.
Did we just have a stepbrothers moment? Did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you mentioned that was one of your most controversial. Can you remember, like, what is your top most controversial video?
You know,
or episode that
I
you
don't
had?
really go for controversy just for controversy's sake.
Sure.
I'm saying that happened out of me just kind of pushing back and going, but he said these things, and Sam Storms kind of became very defensive.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Dr. Sam Storms? Okay. So probably a little more controversial is one week I had on, Abby Johnson, who was a former Planned Parenthood abortionist.
Okay.
And then, and she's a friend of mine.
Wow.
And we go round and round with things. And then the Free the States, who are all abolitionists, called me up and said, "Hey, man, why are you having her on when you could have someone who's pro-life on like us that are abolitionists?" And that was kind of a thing too, to where it was like, then that made me realize, oh, there's a division even within the pro-life movement, to where abolitionists say we absolutely want to abolish it, to where some pro-life people in that industry say, oh no, we don't want to completely abolish it. Let's just make a heartbeat bill, or let's just make a 12-week bill.
Yeah.
So that got some traction online too, to where I had back-to-back someone in the pro-life, someone in the abolition.
Have her and Jeff Durbin on at the same time. That would
Right.
be episode for the ages, right there.
So I did have Free the States guys on. We did a 2.5-hour debate with pro-life man, and said, what, pro-life or abolition? Which one should we as believers? And it was a really well received video and an audio episode. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's great.
But anytime you're talking about those things, I think they become controversial anyway. And we've been shadow banned multiple times, banned by Facebook. You can't say this word.
Welcome to the club.
All right, we're on the same team. Let's go. Let's go.
Love it. Yeah, that's great. Yep. Yeah, I think we're up to 3 videos now. YouTube is
Just keep pushing back. Don't delete them. Push back.
Yep.
Find another avenue to do it.
Yep.
Right now, we still have audio and podcasting where most of your RSS feeds
You looking
aren't.
at that wave drop? The
No.
wave? Toby Sumter was talking about. I guess it's a new platform him and a friend of his started for podcasting. You can actually
it was
put
Gabe.
it in there, and it's Gabe Rench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of I'm concerned with. As a podcaster, I look at guys like Buzzsprout and Anchor and the hosts, right? Because what we've realized is now the woke is attacking the infrastructure. They're saying, oh, YouTube might be a platform, but YouTube stores those videos somewhere. Most of the time, they're owned by Amazon, honestly. They own 80% of the databases. So now you have to start looking, as believers, we have to start looking at infrastructure and going, okay, we have to create servers and infrastructure that says,
Andrew Torba.
That's what. Yeah.
That's exactly,
I'm not familiar with him. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Gab.com.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew Torba is the owner. Fantastic post-mill Christian.
Yeah.
He's got Gab TV. He's got Gab Pay, Gab Ads.
Yep.
And now he has a Zoom alternative. So you don't even have to use Zoom. You can use, I forget what they call it, but Gab Voice, I think it is.
And is he using his own privatized hosting services as well?
He got kicked off of Apple and Google 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So now he's doing progressive web apps, so you don't have to install it from the App Store. He's got his own servers, own databases, exactly what you're
Good for him.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
He's creating his own counterculture.
Yep.
Yeah, and you have to, because there's gatekeepers everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And, you guys, because you guys are a lot younger than I am, I mean, you're basically growing up in a generation where it's a joke. Like I have, friends and even my kids that are a little younger, they just think it's a joke to say, "Oh, the FBI is watching me through my camera," or, "Oh, yep, I said men can't become pregnant, so I'm canceled." Like, it's now so commonplace, and it's sad because that's what's desensitized to. Oh, that's controversial.
Yeah.
That if I say a man cannot become pregnant, I'm going to become banned.
Simple, basic facts of life.
Yeah. So I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, and make sure they can't cancel you and kick you off.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Greg, this was great. Really nice to meet you here. I think we saw you last year too at the FLF East Conference in South Dakota. Great, so
before our podcast even started, we were first there and everything.
Yes.
We saw everybody doing their stuff.
Yeah.
You doing interviews with people.
Yeah.
friends of mine walk around with your hats all the time. Actually,
Awesome! I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, they're working.
South Dakota. Yeah.
Now, wait, did you guys set up there and were you podcasting there or no?
We actually,
that was before our podcast.
That was before our podcast.
Because you guys are about how old? About a year or something?
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Yeah, we're
Let's go.
Brand new.
We need more young brothers in the Lord that know how to exegete the Bible, that know the biblical foundations of the Word, like you, doing this all the time. So do it.
Well,
I'll support anything you do.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks for having me on, guys.
So where can they go to follow you? What's the...
Oh, cool. Yeah, Dead Man Walking Podcast across all platforms.
Okay.
I believe in brand consistency. You Google Dead Man Walking Podcast, it's going to come up with our Facebook and Rumble and Discord and Instagram and Gmail account and all that.
Nice.
And if they cancel me in one place, I'll jump to another one. I don't care.
There you go. Well, Greg, this was great.
Cool.
Great chatting with you, and I'm sure we'll see you around.
Guys, love you and appreciate you. Thank you
so much. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks so much for listening or watching this episode. Don't forget to like and share it if you enjoyed it. On tomorrow's episode, we'll be interviewing Pastor Doug Wilson of Christ's Church in Moscow, Idaho, and Christian comedian John Branyan. You definitely don't want to miss that episode. And remember, everyone, in all that you do, do it as unto the Lord.